After many successful years on Holland Avenue, the SOCA Kitchen has moved to this beautiful location at 224 Beechwood Avenue and launched Plantain Cartel, which boasts Latin-inspired street food. Have you ever heard of a patacones? I haven't, but I'm excited to try it. Chef Daniela Manrique is about to blow your mind and have you saying, "More, please."
I'll tell you what I want, what I really want, yeah.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really want.
What I want, what I want, yeah. A little bit more.
A little bit more.
A little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
Hey, we're here with chef and owner Daniela Manrique of Plantain Cartel and SOCA Kitchen. Chef Daniela, you've had so much success. You're an award-winning chef and great success with SOCA Kitchen. Tell us a little bit about your journey and Plantain Cartel.
Well, thank you very much. So the SOCA Kitchen has been here in Ottawa for about 8 years now. We recently moved to 2 different locations, one on Beechwood Avenue, which is this location over here, and one on 2nd Avenue on the Glebe, which is a beautiful neighborhood as well. On this location at Beechwood Avenue, we actually developed a concept, Plantain Cartel, which is more of a Latin street food concept, which shares the same space with the SOCA Kitchen and our specialty market.
Okay, specialty market. Now this is really exciting. Beautiful products from Spain, you mentioned. Tell us a little bit more about what we can find here.
Correct. So the SOCA Kitchen's known for Spanish and Latino fusion. So at our market, we're really highlighting those Spanish products that we import, okay, as well as our homemade products that you can find in our fridges and freezer as well. So a lot of the menu items that you're eating at SOCA or Plantain Cartel, you can actually try and make your own at home when you purchase some of the sauces or pickles or empanadas from our freezer. So yeah, it's fun. It's kind of a interesting market. We also have a little bit of a SOCA at home section where you can find like little beautiful gifts like towels or, you know, some serving utensils, things like that, you know, as well as, you know, like you mentioned some Spanish products like olive oils, vinegar, salts, and yeah.
Everything looks delicious. And you still have the eat-in portion, the in-person dining, and the takeout with Plantain Cartel. Can everything be taken out, or?
Correct, yeah. Because of the pandemic, we had to pivot to the whole takeout delivery world, right? So right now, we have a platform on our website where you can order right there for pickup from both the SOCA Kitchen, Plantain Cartel, and the market, actually from all 3 places. You can just order online and come to the store and pick it up, as well as we are doing delivery through Uber Eats and Skip the Dishes for both restaurants. And you can also eat in at both restaurants. At SOCA or Plantain Cartel. You can make your reservations. We always recommend online as well, so everything in this digital world now. But yeah, you can eat in or take out at both locations.
Excellent. Well, everything looks delicious and we can't wait to get into the kitchen. So with Plantain Cartel, you have a new line of casual patacones?
Yes, so Plantain Cartel is Latin street food, right? So we're trying to highlight a lot of menu items that are plantain based. So we have our patacones. They're all amazing gluten-free sandwiches. They're all artisanal. We make our patacones, or the actual plantain, here in-house. So no two alike. They're all very different, okay? We have 5 different flavors right now that we're offering. So we have our cochinita, our beef, our vegetarian option, as well as our fish option and chicken.
All right.
So yeah, it's a big variety of plantain sandwiches as well as other things that contain plantain in the menu.
Awesome. And we're going to make one of those today.
We are gonna make the cochinita patacon.
Excellent. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
So we're here in the kitchen with Chef Daniela. She's going to show us how to put together these patacones. What's step 1?
Okay, so first we have to get our actual patacon, the actual plantain crispy, right? Because it's gonna be the base for everything to kind of build up upon. So we start with our plantains. We're gonna get them nice and fried, so get nice and crispy on the outside. Then we're gonna fill it up with our cochinita, which has been braised for, about 8 hours or so, and some orange, coriander, other spices, secret spices. So I'm just gonna get it a little bit crisped up, right? Okay.
So you mentioned the orange, the coriander. Are those normal spices? Like those are very regional spices for this dish?
So the cochinita, it's not like a traditional spice blend. It's something more that, we usually enjoy or pork with the orange. So I wouldn't say it's a traditional spice. It's more like a SOCA traditional spice blend, okay? So the thing we're gonna wanna do right now is get that pork, get it like a little bit caramelized, okay? Get nice color in there, get nice crispiness on there, while we wait for our patacones to finish getting nice and crispy on the outside to kind of hold up to all that juice, right?
Now it's a nice change to have something other than bread holding your sandwich together, but your patacones, your plantains are processed. How do you?
Yes, absolutely. So it is nice to have other than bread. A lot of people are, gluten intolerant and all that. So the way we process the plantains, we start with a green plantain, okay? It's very important that it's green because it's when it contains the most starch, right? If you wait until it's a little bit more ripe, then the plantain, unfortunately, it's gonna have way too much sugar developed, and the sugar is just gonna make it caramelize, and it's just not gonna end up with a crispy product at the end, okay? So we wanna make sure it's nice and green. And basically, when you eat a patacon, you're eating a whole plantain.
Wow.
Because the way we process it and the way it's made, you can see by its shape, it's actually half a plantain each side. So by the time the finished product, it's a whole plantain.
Beautiful, beautiful product.
Okay, so right now we're done with our pork. We kind of crisp it up. You can see caramelize a little bit at the bottom of the pan, which is kind of what we want. Get it nice and nice color on there. Okay, I'm just gonna put it here so we can go plate our patacon. Our plantains are finally crispy after a couple of minutes, okay? So we're gonna take them out. We're gonna make sure the oil kind of drains out of the plantains. Okay, we're gonna pass it onto our basket. And we're gonna add some finishing salt right now to get them nice and salty. And if you wanna follow me, we're gonna put it together.
All right.
So we have a little bit of salt over here just to kind of get those plantains nice and salty.
Beautiful.
We're gonna put the base to our plantain just right over here. And now all the toppings come in. So you wanna make sure it's very crispy because otherwise it's just gonna end up with a soggy sandwich, okay?
No one wants a soggy sandwich.
Nobody wants a soggy sandwich. So we're gonna put a good amount of our protein.
Beautiful.
Then we also seared some ham just to kind of go on top of the pork.
It's a real pork sandwich.
Oh yeah. Okay, then we're gonna go with our sauces. We have a little pickle aioli that we do here in house. Don't be shy. You want to put a little bit of our hot sauce on top as well. I don't know if you want to try.
Okay, how hot do we like it?
It's an habanero and pineapple hot sauce, so it is quite spicy.
How's that?
Hey, that's great.
Okay.
That's more than enough, okay? And then after that, we're just gonna top it up with our homemade pickle slaw.
Wow.
We say our famous homemade pickle slaw. It's very nice. We pickle it over 24 hours.
Beautiful color.
Yeah. Get it in there. And then that's it. That's our patacon. We get to put the top right over it. And there you go.
Looks
You have our patacon.
delicious.
It's
Can't
plenty
wait.
for one or two, It's a lot of food.
Just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
We're back in Chef Daniela's kitchen and she is going to show us a beautiful beet salad. So why a beet salad?
well, it's something that we have throughout the year, just because it's kind of one of our staple dishes.
Okay.
But it's something really good to have, like, you know, in the colder months, you start getting into all those nice root veggies. So I love this beet salad just because it's a really cool play between like sweet and salty.
Okay.
So you get a little bit of the saltiness from like our whipped feta, from our Maldon salt, and then you get the sweet from the beets and the sugarcane reduction, a little bit of like that acid pop with the pickled onions, and yeah. It's a cool, like every bite's different with the salad, so that's what I like about it. Plus it is a sharing style menu, right? So the idea behind it is you have like little dishes of, you know, different foods, and then you get to kind of eat them all together. That's why it's not just a beet salad. We don't look at it anymore as an appetizer, have a beet salad and then main course. Here we eat a little bit differently because we do have our menu is a small plates menu. It's like a sharing style menu.
Okay.
So you get, you know, like some sweet components, and you get some other saltier, like olives. Just think about like eating it with other components around.
Okay.
This beet salad's been in our menu since we opened. So it's an old beet salad, but it is really good beet salad. It has a play of like sweet and salty, and you'll see it as we take it, you know, each ingredient and build upon, okay?
Okay, so how do we start?
So we're gonna start, this is our whipped feta. So it is a goat's feta, giving it a little bit of that tang to it, okay? So we're gonna put that as our base to the plate. Okay, and just give it a little turn, just like that. Keep in mind, when you eat this salad, it's very important to take each ingredient and kind of, you know, don't separate them. Just eat them all together.
Get a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Then we get our beets, which we sous vide, okay? So sous vide basically means that it's cooked in a temperature controlled water bath for a long period of time, just tenderizing them, making sure that they're all nice and soft, but still have a bite to them. Okay.
Beautiful.
It's a great dish for the winter months, you know, the root veggies that come into play, beautiful beets. But we do have it all year round just because it is kind of one of those staples where if you take it out of the menu, people are like, where's the beet salad?
Yes.
Where did it go? It was so good, right? So now we have our beets, we have our feta, we have our beets. Then we're gonna go on and season the beets. It's really important because they're so sweet, right? So we wanna make sure we season them properly. Each one of them gets a little bit of salt. This is actually a coarse salt. It's called Maldon salt. It comes from Spain. It's a beautiful flaky salt. So every bite, it's not like just a regular salt where everything's salty. It's just every bite's like sweet, and then then you get a pop of like of salt. Okay.
So you mentioned this salt is in your market.
It is. We do have a lot of different types of salts. Some have some flavor to them. So we have like a smoked salt. We have a paprika salt. We have our saffron salt, which is pretty cool. If you make a paella or something like that, it'd be great just as a finishing salt. That's what we call it here in the kitchen. Okay. Then after we put our salt, we're gonna add our pickled onions. You can also find this in the market if you wanna venture out and do your own beet salad at home. You can find our whipped feta. You can find our pickled onions, our sugarcane reduction. So basically, you can make your own version of it at home.
If you're feeling adventurous,
go for it. So I mentioned this is our sugarcane reduction. So it's called papelon from Venezuela. So we take the sugarcane and we reduce it until we make a kind of like a very sweet syrup. We're just gonna drizzle a little bit. Keep in mind the beets are sweet. A little bit goes a long way.
beautiful. So is it just sugarcane? We don't want to give away your secret recipe.
Correct, but yes, it is a sugarcane juice that gets reduced into the papelon, what we call it. Then after that, we're gonna go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of our, this is our walnut dust, we call it. It's kind of like a crumble.
Ooh.
Okay, so yeah, it's very nice, and it's kind of a good bite to it, you know, because the beets tend to be a little bit soft. This is gonna add that crunch to the salad, which is really
Beautiful.
nice. And of course, the nuts is always a good complement to the beet salad.
Gorgeous.
I really like this, so I'm just gonna finish it off there. Okay, then after we are done with that, we're actually gonna use this extra virgin olive oil. It's an organic olive oil from Spain. We also have it in our market. We have a huge array of olive oils of olives. We have over, I think, 12, 13 different kinds of olives
And
in our
those
market.
are all imported?
They are, yes, they are. We import from Spain, and we have all different kinds. You should come and check it out. We can actually head outside after and I'll show you. So we'll use
Absolutely.
just a light drizzle of this olive oil. Goes a long way as well, okay?
Beautiful.
So it's like we're building our own vinaigrette in here without necessarily having to have like a heavy vinaigrette emulsified to it. Then we're gonna move on to our micro cilantro. This is actually from one of our local farmers here in Ottawa. They are Heart City Farms. They are great. Madeline, she delivers every, right now every other day. She comes and delivers our micros and our flowers. So we'll add a little bit of our micro cilantro just right on top.
So you have so many beautiful fresh flavors here. How do you source all of your ingredients?
We do import some of the things, some of our Spanish products, but other than that, we do try to stay local as much as possible. Of course, considering all the, winters and everything that we go through here in Ottawa, we try to do our best to support local farmers and, yeah.
That's great.
So when possible, of course, we definitely want to.
Look
And
at
with
that
this
color.
Beautiful little flowers here, and then you got it. You have our beet salad.
Just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
We're back with Chef Daniela in the kitchen, and she is going to show us a beautiful dish from the SOCA Kitchen menu.
Yes, so today we're gonna be doing a hamachi crudo. So hamachi is actually yellowtails from Japan. We bring it in, we find it's delicious, buttery flavor. I'm obsessed with it. It's one of my ultimate favorite fish, especially to eat like a sashimi style. So we call it tiradito. That's where the fusion comes, right? Sashimi style, nice and cold, raw. It's a beautiful dish to play with.
All right, let's play.
Okay, so today we have actually from the loin of the fish. I've chosen the belly part of the loin just because it tends to have more fat in there, and it plays really well with all the other components that I'll be putting on there. Okay, so we're gonna start by seasoning our fish. So it is very important, like we did with the beets, it's very important that we season our fish, each fillet. I kind of take this really coarse Maldon salt, break it in a little bit with my fingers, and then just season each one of the pieces, okay? Then after we've seasoned that, we're gonna take this vinaigrette that we make here in-house. This vinaigrette's actually really interesting because it is a mix between truffle and yuzu.
Okay.
Yeah, so yuzu is a citrus. It's kind of like a lime from Japan. Well, it's from Asia, okay? And it's very nice because it has kind of like a citrusy but sweet flavor to it. So it'll pair really nicely with the fattiness of the fish, okay? So just gonna mix it in a little bit and then just gonna put it right on top of the fish. You want to make sure there's plenty of it so it gets nice and juicy. You can always go for second dips once you try the first bite or two.
Beautiful. And you said it's with a truffle oil?
Correct, yes, black truffle oil. I'll just put it all in. Why not? So after we have our fatty fish, we have our citrus going in there, kind of breaking some of that fat in. We're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of the saltiness from our ikura. So this is actually a salmon roe that we're gonna put on our fish, okay?
Oh.
It's gonna
Beautiful.
give it, once you bite into it, it's just gonna pop in your mouth and give it that little pop of salt that it needs, okay?
Gorgeous.
So I kind of distribute it evenly, that way when you take a little bite from this side, a little bite from that side, you kind of get, you always get a little bit of everything, okay?
Is this a shareable plate or?
For sure, yes. Our menu is actually a sharing style menu, so small plates. to kind of share two between, for every table of two, I would say around 4 plates would be a good amount. So it's definitely very interesting because you get like a little bit of, our tiradito, or you can get like a beet salad, you can get the octopus. So it's kind of like you get to do your own meal, if you say, instead of having just stuck to one option.
Try everything.
Exactly. So right now we're gonna go on and put on our puffed quinoa, which we puff it here in-house. So when we puff it, we actually open up the grain a little bit, and we make sure it's nice and airy and nice and crunchy. Because I find when you make a dish, you want to make sure that you hit all those different notes, okay? So you have a little bit of the fat from the fish, you have a little bit of the acid from the yuzu, a little bit of that earthiness with the truffle, okay? Then as well as like the soft texture from the fish, the pops from the ikura, and then the crunchy from this beautiful puffed quinoa.
Beautiful. So it hits all the boxes.
All the notes, yes. So we won't be shy with it, okay? And then after that, we're just gonna go ahead and put a little bit of our, we eat with our eyes, like I always say. We'll put a little bit of our petals on it. We'll go ahead and just kind of mix and match all these beautiful colors. We're lucky enough here in Ottawa, we get all these beautiful flowers and birds during the summertime, which is really nice. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of this microgreens as well.
Beautiful.
From our local farmers, yes. And there you have it. This is our hamachi crudo.
So this is so beautiful and colorful. How are you inspired to create this dish?
So you know what? We started with the hamachi, which is a fish that I absolutely love, and then we kind of build up from there. So like I was telling you before, I always like to incorporate different, flavor profiles in the dish, as well as different textures on it. So I was inspired just by the fish, and then I was thinking what would be a good citrus, and I'm a big yuzu fan. So that's how it came about with the vinaigrette, and then I was looking for the right pop of salt, and I thought the ikura would be the perfect combination and perfect match. Using the hamachi is actually one of the fish that got us the silver medal at the gold medal plates back in, I believe it was 2018. I would have to double check the date. But yeah, so that's how this dish came about. We have our staples in the restaurant in terms of our small plates. However, we do have some rotating dishes throughout the year that we like to showcase. So for the summer, we had kind of the hamachi crudo. Maybe in the winter time, we'll kind of, switch it up to something else.
Okay, well this is beautiful and I can't wait to try it.
Thank you. Yes, dig in.
Chef Daniela, thank you so much for inviting us into SOCA Kitchen in Plantain Cartel today and creating these beautiful dishes.
Thank you for coming and joining me in making the dishes. Yeah, why don't you try a little bit?
I think I'm gonna try this one.
Before it gets cold.
I know. So
tell me what you think.
I am gonna try to get a little bit of everything here.
Okay.
And you mentioned you have a brunch.
We do, so you can actually enjoy our plantain sandwich during our brunch menu on Sundays. It is a different menu, but it's we have a huge following. Our brunch is very, very upbeat and fun. Every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Excellent. I think I'm gonna come.
Okay,
This is delicious.
Thank you.
You've got to try it.
Thank you.